Hi, this is Martin from Arcanum Vita. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good week. Yeah, so big energy this week. Again, 2020 is not for the faint-hearted, they say. We're finally sort of, I guess, at the turning point of 2020, energetically speaking. I guess not that every week just about this year has been some kind of major turning point, but this week Mercury's retrograde finally stations and starts moving ahead. The retrograde that's just gone on in Scorpio has been nothing short of intense, and I guess energetically it's been pulling us all on some level down to a sort of a center or an inner position, I guess, or an inner sort of orientation to things where, we find ourselves probably, quite well aware of how we are in relation to the world. I guess where Mercury stations takes us back to about September the 24th, around that mark. And, here we are at the same energy again, but a lot of time's gone by, and it's now sort of starting to move forward back out of that position. So if you look at everything that's transpired from around the end of September till now, that it's sort of being intensified right back to the same position, but in a far more nebulous type of way, I guess, for want of a better word. So, that you'll start to feel the sense of release and the sense of relief. But I guess what it's probably going to reveal as well is that, and if you look at the symbol associated with the whole retrograde process, it really is about trying to bring a centre of cohesion, I guess, amidst a scene of absolute polarisation. So it's all about bringing us back to a centre core, a centre of realisation where we can feel individually empowered and start to be, constructively creative in our own right, but participating in a more of a collective human consciousness. So, the world, if you look at it now, the world's just as polarised as it was back in September, but now, there's this sort of new point. I guess I'm talking about the American election here. They've been polarised the whole time, and now we've had the election. There may be a new leader, but it's showing that the world's just as polarised, but we're in a point where we have to go, okay, where do we go from here? And, that's the type of energy. And I guess the bottom line to it all is really trying to sort of pause and find that inner centre in yourself and look at it as a point of re-beginning. But it's not about, trying to find yourself by engaging in one polarity or the other, because I think the temptation here is going to be to try and individuate by joining a them or an us, going, do we go this way or that way? How do we find our right expression? Do we push hard over here or do we push hard over there? So it's important to, because you'll find if you choose a side and force one side or the other, you'll end up not individuated. You'll just end up immersing again in a polarized, new type of polarized collective. So it's about just sort of pulling back and finding that center and using it to pause. It really is about patience. If you look at the underlying energy at the moment, it's one where we've got to, consider the implications of things, and really it is a time of pause. Where it might seem like everything's out of control and everything's, there's all these possibilities, it could end up that way, it could end up that way, all those types of things. Another way to look at it is that on a deeper level, it's very much like we're all at some type of collective peak experience, we've sort of reached the top of the mountain and there's no more path ahead, but, we're focusing on the path has run out and there's all this myriad of possibilities out there, whereas all we need to do is realise that we've reached some kind of peak and it's time to sit and soak it in and soak it up and listen to the new possibilities and listen to where do we go from here. And really it is about patience. It's about giving yourself time and not worrying about forcing anything, but just soaking in what's available and the options and looking at the implications for it. And really it's empowering us all individually to make a choice that is ultimately for the betterment of both ourselves and everyone else around us. So, it could be tempting to flash pan, feel isolated, feel weird, feel left out, all those types of things, or feel a bit lost for direction and try and make it happen. But this whole process is highlighted by this opposition. At the same time, there's an opposition between Venus and Chiron, which is really, on one hand, it can make us feel like we're not able to express ourselves, or not able to do the right thing, or not able to sort of create the right expression for ourselves, and therefore doubt our value or doubt our worth or even doubt our ability to manifest anything. But on the upside of it all, it's actually pulling out in us, or trying to draw out in us a better form of expression for ourselves. And the only way we can do that is by listening to the possibilities, I guess, and just being calm in it and pausing with it for a little while. So it's important to sort of realize that, because as Mercury's turning around, another major event this week, we get the final conjunction between Jupiter and Pluto, and Saturn's there, and it's all at 22 degrees of Capricorn, which takes us right back to the start of the year, which is when this whole storm erupted, I guess. So we're right back at that same energy crux that we were back in January. And so but this time around we've been through the process, and we're back at that sort of nebulous starting point. And I really think this is the opportunity, and this whole alignment is it's 1 in 800 year type of an event. So it really is a major opportunity for a new beginning on whatever level you want to look at. And sometimes it's okay just to sit back and collect yourself and come back into that magnetism and come back into that center and find a new orientation. But we don't often know what the new orientation is at first, but how do we know unless we listen and look and seek and just sort of view it, rather than reacting to try and find a stability somewhere amidst the chaos. So if you see things in that general context, whatever's happening individually or in whatever level we're in, it's asking us to get out of the sort of personality fight and flight type mode and get back into a more sort of sense of cohesion in ourselves. And it's kind of that whole choose love not fear type vibe, and just love, I guess, is an energy which ultimately brings left and right into the center. So it's a little bit like that. And see it as a peak experience. See yourself sitting, if you might feel lost, but it's not being lost, it's actually having the opportunity to be taken out of the moment for a while and get an opportunity to listen at what's going on. And you might find that some things will come up that you didn't realize were in you with this energy. It's sort of a drawing up of a deep resource amongst us all. And time will show that play out, but at the moment this is pretty much the chaotic period which is sort of giving us the opportunity to reflect and find that. So I hope that makes sense, and be good to yourself amongst it. It's a very pivotal time in the year, and take your time, be patient as things play out over time. And if you just tick along with it and go with the flow and stay focused on your day to day, and just be joyful for the day and count your blessings and those types of things. Life is an endlessly creative process. So I just thought I'd share that with you, and I hope you go really well this week, and thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye.